So the city has decided that they want to start evicting people. On Sunday, they evicted a few people. On Monday, they evicted a few people. And supposedly by the end of the week, there's supposed to be like 3 dozen of them that are evicted. Where are you going to put them? Where are they going to go? They're just going to go to another shelter. And then they're going to stay there for 2 months. And then they're going to go to another shelter. And then they're going to stay there for 2 months. It's a revolving door. Evicting them from the shelter they're in isn't going to do anything. They just go to another one, or they go start stealing from people, or taking, or getting. They just become desperate. The violence and the crime then goes up. Like these cities, these sanctuary cities, don't realize that they're actually creating their own problem that they're dealing with. It's not that the migrants are here. Okay, they're here. There's nothing we can do about that other than send them back, which I'm not opposed to. But we're literally creating our own violence. We're creating our own statistics because we're leaving these people, we're accepting them, we're leaving them with 60 days worth of options and then pushing them right back out on the street. What's it going to do? They're going to turn to start stealing stuff from the communities. It's absolutely ridiculous that we would do stuff like this. And then they talk about mass eviction. They're not really evicting that many people. And they keep making exceptions and changing things over and over and over again. And then you find out that it's not dozens and dozens or hundreds getting evicted. It's like 10 people, 15 people. That's what makes the tabloids. But here's the icing on the cake. Took a little break in between those topics here. What is it, like Massachusetts now? They're doing a $500 a month stipend for migrants now, because they have to have basic necessities, basic needs of living. They have to have money. They have to have something to provide the basics, which costs about $500 a month for basic necessities. With that being said, what are you supposed to do? Sorry, there was a lady that just hit a tarp on the road and now it's stuck underneath her vehicle. With basic necessities, that comes from the taxpayers' pockets. That doesn't come from anybody else's pocket. That's the only way that they can afford something like that. Can you imagine if we started doing something like that for every single one that came in? Like how New York was talking about $1,000 a month for, for families with children. As long as you continue to use it for food and baby supplies, then you can continue to get it for, like a year or 2 years. And it's the same thing with this Massachusetts, whatever the hell it was that just popped up. I was reading through the article and I said, man, all these states are starting to blend together. They're all starting to do the same damn shit. The migrants aren't just being dropped off in sanctuary cities. They're being dropped off all over the damn United States. People are seeing them in Kentucky and Tennessee, and they're reporting everywhere. Down in Florida, too. They're literally everywhere. And what these states want is they want to legalize people being here illegally so they can acquire the votes. So they can figure out whether or not, or so they can try to save an election that they know that they've lost. In my mind, how I seen it was, the Biden administration screwed up bad. Trump was in office and the whole COVID thing happened. That got out of control. Biden's the Penn Biden Foundation in Maine or Massachusetts or whatever the hell it was Pennsylvania was part of the Wuhan lab thing, and there was so much funding from the CCP that was going to the college program that Biden was supposed to be the founder of, which he had nothing to do with, didn't even show up a day in his life, and he was supposed to get $1 million a year from the company or from the school for this program. Yet it showed like $50 million were funded up front by the Chinese government, the CCP. So then we have COVID, and the way people were locked away, and the riots and the chaos and the division that has been going on since Obama, this has been festering and growing and growing and growing. And the Democratic Party, they're scared. They are scared because they know they don't have the votes anymore. They know the minority community that's not so much the minority community anymore is not going to vote for them. They don't have a chance in hell in most of these states now. So what do they have to do? Is COVID's killing people off? Let's start replenishing people that come from socialist, dictator type, Marxist countries, and they're used to this type of treatment and government assistance and government taking care of them. We'll get those people in here. We'll start filling up the United States as people die off with COVID, and we'll get our voting community back. It's a way for them to control the votes. It's a way for them to control the people. I think what they're hoping for now is it didn't quite work out like they wanted it to. So what they're hoping for now is to fill up the United States with as many of these crazy-ass illegals, as many as possible, and just let the communities fester and let them get mad and let them boil until there's a point in time before election where there is violence, there is corruption, there is disastrous things happening in the streets and in the communities that it seems like the rule of law isn't being taken into consideration anymore, and they can enact martial law. Then the government or the military, the government is in control, and there's no election. I think it's a way for them to try to control what's going on and fill up the United States as much as possible, because what happened with COVID backfired, and that's where I'm at right now in my headspace. It's a controlled catastrophe. It's controlled chaos, and they're doing a very, very good job of it. And as many of these people that have been found out to be corrupt and in bed with other people making money, this and that, you would think that they wouldn't have positions, that they wouldn't have any kind of leadership tenure or anything like that to continue to build on because of what they've done. And that's not the case. It just flat out doesn't happen. How are these people that it's so obvious the treasonous acts and stuff that they've been involved in are still in power running the show, with the Mayor Brandon Johnsons of the world that continue to screw up left and right, that continue to make the bad calls left and right, with the Raymond Lopez's that continue to screw up and mess up left and right, that are destroying communities, making poor decisions. At what point in time do these people get removed from their positions because they're not doing their job and what they were hired for? There has to be a breaking point, but when is it? I'll leave you with that. I'm just getting to the gym this morning, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. That's my thoughts on everything. Yeah, there's supposedly busloads of migrants coming to Chicago right now. Where are they going to go? They're evicting people right now where are they going to go? There's nowhere for them to go other than the streets, which is sad, because that's where they're going to end up. And then they're going to end up getting desperate and stealing and doing illegal shit, drugs, everything else, right in our communities, right around our homes and kids, our businesses, and we're going to have to pay for it. I love y'all. Have a great day.